Hello, hello. Testing my mic. Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. If you're in the US, if you're in the east, the west, the north, or the south, good morning to you. I hope you can hear me. I'm using a mic. I'm hoping that you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me because that will be wonderful. Because I really would love for you to enjoy this topic this morning. So I was told that you can hear me. So good day. My name is Ambassador Renee Johnson, and I'm talking to you live from our studios in Nassau, Bahamas, the place where God lives. And it's a wonderful delight to have you with us this morning. And this morning, I have a wonderful topic for you. And I want to ask you, who or what is influencing you? Who or what is influencing you? And are you a sheep led by lions? Or are you a lion led by sheep? You know, um, there's a saying, by the quote of Alexander the Great, an army of sheep led by a lion is better than an army of lions led by a sheep. And you know why that is? Because sheep has a passive character, and a lion is aggressive. It goes after its target. But this morning, what I'm talking about with you is influential leaders, women and men. I want to talk to you about and ask you who or what is influencing you. We have a lot of stories in the Bible. We have a lot of influential women in the Bible. And some were saints, some were scoundrels like Jezebel, a few were queens, but most were commoners. All played a key role in spectacular Bible stories. Each woman brought her unique character to bear on her situation. And for this, we will always remember, because this still affects us centuries later. For instance, the first woman that comes to mind is Eve. Eve had a great, and still today has an influence on us. Eve will always be known as a woman of influence, whether it's negative or positive. She is known as a woman of influence. She was able to influence her husband, Adam, to eat of a forbidden fruit. Eve was the first woman created by God to be a companion and a helper for Adam. And so we're influenced because what we're supposed to be doing is being a helper for our mates. Everything was perfect in the Garden of Eden. But when Eve believed the lies of Satan, Satan was also an influencer. But I am guaranteeing you, you don't want that type of influence. And so what Satan was able to do, he was able to influence Eve, and Eve then influenced Adam to eat of the fruit of the tree. And there's one fruit they were asked not to eat of. But they did. And today, Eve's lessons was costly. God, he wants to trust us. But Satan cannot be trusted. Whenever we choose our own selfish desires over those of God, bad consequences will follow. Because you're either an influencer or you're influenced. Sarah, you remember Sarah? Sarah received an extraordinary honor from God as Abraham's wife. Her offspring became the nation of Israel, which produced Jesus Christ. So she was an influence. However, during her impatience, she decided to influence her husband, Abram, to father a child, maidservant, Hagar. And so we have to be careful how we use our influence. We have to be careful the reasons we use our influence. And then we have to trust God. We have to trust the process. Because Sarah, at 90, she was told that she will give birth to Isaac through a miracle of God. Of course, from Sarah, we learn that God's promise always comes true. And his timing is always best. Then we have Deborah. You remember Deborah? Deborah played a unique role in Israel's history, serving as the only female judge in a lawless period before the country got its first king. She served as queen, as a judge in a male-dominated culture. She enlisted the help of a mighty warrior named Barak to defeat the oppressive general Sisera. How wisdom and faith in God inspired the people. And thanks to her leadership, Israel enjoyed peace for 40 years. I'm asking you, who are you influencing? Or who is influencing you? Then we have Delilah. Delilah knew her husband had strength beyond measures. But she used her beauty and her sex appeal to influence the strong man Samson, preying on his runaway lust for her. Because of that, he had poor judgment. And then we see, because he allowed Delilah to influence him, he ended up losing his life. The story of Samson and Delilah tells how lack of self-control can lead to a person's downfall. Again, who are you influenced, or who is influencing you? You are either an influencer or you are being influenced. The thing is, being an influencer, the ability to influence is through action. We produce after our own kind. In the words of Dr. Miles Monroe, he stated that Jesus was not popular. He was influential. As parents, we have an awesome task, As leaders, pastors, politicians, we all are in positions of influence. We have been given opportunities to shape society, to either follow or be or kingdom principles or otherwise. As an influencer, I think about people like Martin Luther King. He influenced generations. He came with a message. He was an activist. He decided, listen, as an American Baptist minister and an activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the American civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. See, I'm bringing these people of influence to light because when you're thinking of when you want to influence people, you want to think about the nature of your influence. You want to think about how am I influencing somebody to do the right things, or am I influencing somebody to be negative? You have philanthropist Nelson Mandela. He also was a civil rights activist. When they had apartheid and the race, they played the race card. He went to jail to show that he was not going to allow certain things to happen. And so what I'm getting at today is this. When we think about someone of influence, when we think about our lives, and we think about how we can influence others, the only person I believe and I want and I believe has influenced the whole course of nature, he was the only true and living God. He came to earth through a miracle, through a woman, Mary. And the thing is, she was innocent, she was a virgin, and Gabriel came and gave her a message. And today, because of that, this great king I present to you is the most influential leader ever. He's a teacher, he's a adjudicator, he's the most high king. His name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Throughout the history, the influences of Jesus had on our lives of people has never been surpassed. No other great leader has ever come to this earth. No other great leader has ever inspired so many positive changes in our lives. People who encounter the risen Christ are totally transformed. Their outlook on life is altered forever. You stay true to the faith. They do not hesitate to face hardship. You don't hesitate to even be prosecuted. And even unto death, he was faithful. So I am saying to you, in 1 Corinthians 15 and 33, do not be deceived, because bad company ruins good morals. So when you are thinking and you are going about your regular daily work, I want you to think about how your life can be used, influenced, to heal and to help. And so when you are past this earth and you would have moved on, you want to remember that your life and the things you did on this earth would create for you a legacy. And people will say, I remember her because of her good works, because of the things she did for the kingdom. So until next time, please share this message. I'm sure someone out there needs to hear this message. Please, you need to be a sheep. You need to be a lion led, not be a sheep led by lion, but be a sheep led by lions if you're going to be led. And be a change agent. So until next time, I am Ambassador Renee Johnson. Thank you for tuning in and share this message. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day.